Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name is Annette Manius, and I owned a business for 31 years. And I want to welcome you to a critical moment in your entrepreneurial journey. Selling your business is not just a transaction, it's a monumental step. Today, we're going to dive into what every entrepreneur needs to know about this process. The first thing I want to talk about is understanding the value of your business. Understand the value of your business is essential. It's more than just the numbers on a balance sheet. Consider tangible assets like equipment and inventory, but don't overlook intangible assets such as your brand reputation and customer relationships. Those items all fit into the value of your business. And then next, we want to talk about preparing your business for sale. Preparation is key, I can tell you from experience. Start by refining your financial records, strengthening operations, and showcasing your strong management. A well-prepared business is not only attractive, but might command a better price. When I was going through my succession plan, the biggest thing I did was make sure that my business was prepared in an intangible way for a sale. That means making sure that all my employees were trained properly, the culture was good, leadership was good. There's a lot of different pieces there that need to be in place, especially if you're selling to someone outside of your business. The third thing that you need to consider is legal and financial consideration. If you're going to list your business, understand the legal and financial landscape. Don't engage with a legal expert that doesn't understand how to sell a business, the tax implications, and the legal paperwork that needs to be done. Make sure that you choose legal counsel and accounting people that have been there, done that. Don't get somebody that just, maybe they do trust in wills, but they've never done business sale. That would be my biggest advice. And then next, you want to think about marketing your business. So again, I'm assuming here that you're not going to sell to anyone internal or to a family member. So how do you present your business to potential buyers? It's crucial to market discreetly and effectively. You don't want all your employees probably to know that you're trying to market the business, and you want to highlight what makes your business unique without disrupting operations. When I sold my business, it was to three people that worked for me. So I really didn't have to worry about marketing the business. Although, if that had not worked out, I probably would have. So that's a big part of it. How does your business look to a potential buyer? Then, when you have a potential buyer, negotiation is where your strategy pays off. Be prepared to discuss terms openly and understand the typical process from offer to closing. Ensure you secure favorable terms. So, over the years, I have seen people, friends, relatives, customers, vendors that have sold their business, and they walk away and say, I left money on the table, or I left benefits on the table, or that type of thing. And so you want to make sure that you have good advisors, which again could be an attorney, could be a CPA, maybe other people that that have sold their business. A business consultant, a business coach is always a good idea too, because they can bring a lot of things to the table when you get down to the negotiation and what you should have in the final contract. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about my sale. Again, I was in business for 31 years, and I knew that I didn't have any family members that were going to take the business. And I also knew that I didn't want to sell to a big company. I wanted to make sure that I could look back on my legacy and that my employees would stay intact and the culture of the business would stay intact. So I sold my business to three people that worked for me. And that was a little bit of a different journey because I had to make sure that they could run that business and that they had the leadership skills and that they understood and could keep my culture intact. And so that was for us a 5 year journey. And 5 years seems like a long time, but it goes pretty quickly. The last year of that journey was the time that they started to step forward and I stepped back, even though I was still majority owner. And they started making the decisions. The employees all reported to them. We put together a really good structure for that. And my goal was that when I left, that no one would know any different because everybody had been used to reporting to them and that they were making the decisions. And I didn't want any wailing and gnashing of teeth because it was a good thing. It was a good thing for the business. It was a good thing for me. For me, that was my goal. So you need to think about too, what is your goal in selling your business? And what is that going to look like? I was very intentional, very specific about what I wanted, and I communicated that to the guys that were buying my business. I think that my employees obviously knew that we were going down this road, but we didn't tell them until about 4 months before uh, the final sale that I was going to leave. And, again, it was, I had some long-term employees and some of them were like a little sad and shocked, but it was just business as usual. The next day, it was business as usual. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want a disruption. I didn't want people coming to me and, they were used to dealing with and reporting to the new owners. So it was not a problem at all. So you need to think about what does that look like? What does everything look like leading up to that? As far as making sure you got the right valuation and the agreements are right and all that. But then how are you going to go from there to your exit? And what does that exit look like for you? For me, it was like not a whole lot of fanfare and all was good. Um, so it's something that to consider as you go down the road. So remember, selling your business is a journey, not a destination. With the right knowledge and preparation, you can transition smoothly and find the right successors for your legacy. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you. Uh, and I will see you on the next video.